every Sunday. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the gang back. It's good. Colin, what's been happening with you, my friend?
Yeah, Mark, hi. Hi to you, Max, and hi everyone out there on the YouTube. Been really busy, really. I'm looking after a couple of districts now, as well as a county, so it's really busy from a scouting perspective. Not forgetting my home group, Second Chadwell Heath, who let me help out on a weekly basis. Good times.
You've still got time to do your regular scout meeting, as well as doing all your county roles.
Oh, I'll squeeze a bit in here and there.
Love it. Max, what's been happening with you, my friend?
The jumble sale stuff. I've got my channel getting a little bit more into it. Yeah, with all the 3 scouters. Just been. Last week we had the voting, so our hook was out. So we did wide game in the local park, which was good fun.
Perfect.
And you, Mark?
So we actually done the first week of half term. We've never done half term for scouts. Normally people are away or holidays or whatever. But we experimented. We ran it, and we had 13 scouts turn up. So that was pretty cool. Out of the 29 that were on the books, we just finalized our camping trip to Brownsea Island that we're doing in a few weeks' time. So that's quite cool. Yeah. Let's see who is in the house. Billy from Northwest. David tuning in. Hello, David. Charlotte, have we just got back from our district sports day for Beavers? Oh, nice. We'll find out what event did Charlotte do. And James tuning in. Hello, James. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, Colin, over to you, my friend. Out of all the roles that you're doing at the moment, which one do you really enjoy the most? Putting you on the spot.
That's a really good question, Mark. With my lead volunteer hats on, it's great to be able to support the adults that work in the districts and county, looking at a way to make life a bit easier for them, and trying to make head nor tail of our scout system, but we won't go too far down that rabbit hole. But definitely the weekly scouting commitment I do with the second Chads. It was I slipped into it by accident, and pretty much go every week when time allows. Usually working with the Cub section, but they've got Beavers, Cubs, and Scouts, and whichever one they need help with, I'm there to support. And it's good fun just working with the young people, which sometimes you miss when you work as a lead volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. Colin, which 1 hour? 1 hour. It sounds like Colin's having 1 hour day off.
I think the 1 hour is this hour at the moment, but I filled it with Mark and Max to come and join you all.
Colin, you put something. You just said something that kind of touched. It's not a nerve or anything, but I was at a county meeting a few weeks ago, and we're talking about something, and I looked around the table. There must have been about 10 of us, and I realized that only 2 of us there actually run regular scout meetings. So it was kind of nice that they had my input going, actually, that's I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to work. And they were kind of looking around the room going, oh, okay, we've always done it that way. But the guys haven't run sections for a long time. So they're kind of not forgetting how it goes. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess, you know, there's with newer adults and things like that, they're a bit more open-minded to think about sort of program stuff. So I think I might have dropped out there. I was just saying that newer leaders are a bit more open to exploring new ways of doing things, whereas some of the leaders that have done more years service, they tend to stick with what they know. And generally that works okay, but I think some of those leaders need to be open to new ways as well. Just because you've got a new leader that's been there for 2 months, they have completely different perspectives. They might have researched some badge work and said, can we try this? And that's how you develop your program, isn't it? I'm not saying programs go stale, but we need to make sure it's still in tune with modern society.
Yep, spot on. Traditions are good, but it's a movement after all. Things change. Where did I hear that recently? But it is true. It is true. I think as kind of lifers, scouters that have been in it for a long time, we always we've done it this way. We know it works, so we're going to stick with that. And then when you get a new scout leader who maybe, as you just say, Colin, is fresh off the block, should I say, going, well, what do you know about? You've only been volunteering for a week, but actually they've got some fresh ideas, new ideas. They see something in a different way. It was a bit like last year or the year before, we had a university student come and help us, and we were struggling with map reading, and the scouts just didn't click. And then he described it in a Minecraft way. Can't remember how he done it, but the scouts were like, now that makes sense. Those squares mean X, Y, Z, whatever. So it kind of clicked. And I don't do Minecraft, but it was kind of like, okay, well, now the scouts understand. So that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Max, do you have any experience of that?
Minecraft? No.
No, what I mean is having new leaders coming in, or not just, maybe parents coming in and suggesting new ideas, and you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah. I then hand them a necker in a uniform.
Yeah.
Yes, well, if you want to come and help, if you want to bring the ideas, then yeah, what's your shirt size?
Yeah, exactly.
It's that kind of thing. Come in, help us out, understand the back stuff that we need to do, the risk assessment, all that kind of stuff, the inclusivity and everything else. And then let's have a look at your suggestion. But get a grip for what everybody else has to do, and the program that we have to run to ensure that the young people get in Scouts, especially to the Chief Scout Gold. Give them as many opportunities as possible to get there.
Absolutely.
It's different in different areas, isn't it? Because the area I'm in, the parents will throw money at you rather than volunteer. But some areas don't get that. It's the other way around. They get so many volunteers and not enough money.
Yeah.
Even balance that I found anywhere in the country that sort of gives us that. Oh, Scott's in the house.
What's in the house? It is interesting getting new perspective from new people, but then also they've got to listen to more experienced leaders as well. And even kind of, okay, I'm 15 years in or 16 years in, and we've still got the scout leaders that just got their 60, 70-year award. And okay, they might not be on the ground, but they've still done it. They've still got experience. And there's stuff that we don't do all the time that may go, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? So it's kind of different ends.
It kind of works the other way, though, doesn't it? Because if you say, we're looking for a parent with a particular skill. So let's say you're running first aid badge and you mentor some doctors, or you're running a DIY badge and somebody happens to be a carpenter or, a plumber or electrician or whatever. Then turning it the other way, parents, what skills have you got that we can utilize in this part of the program, which is the other way to hook them in. And that kind of helps bring them in a little bit more. The other one that we find really works is a Scout versus Parents Night. Because parents really sort of get back to their inner child and really love joining in, especially the games. It becomes very, very competitive. Absolutely competitive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Everything from using a fire steel to light a piece of cotton wool to doing some of the sort of games that the Scouts play. Yeah. It's good fun.
It's a good perspective, isn't it? Trying to get the new people in as well as the Scouters who've been around for years and years and years, and just trying to compare and trying to balance it all out, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess it's about getting to know your parents if you're looking to try and get some new adult recruits. It's like you both referenced that some of our parents will already actually have skills from their profession or so forth. But if you don't know your parents, you don't know what they might know that can then help in a program activity. And I like your idea, Max, about a parents' night. I've never heard that before in all my years of volunteering. Heard of
Really?
parent and child camps and things like that, but not parents and child tonight. I like that.
I mean, it works. It works brilliantly. Get your risk assessment right, and you tune the activities. But it's more to bring the parents in to show them what we're teaching the kids, and some of the skills that the kids are getting, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." Well, let's show you. You're about to learn. Let's do a quick bit of map reading. Let's navigate from point A to point B. Yeah, but I've never used a compass. Well, let's show you how to do that. And it really brings them in, and some of them do get the bug and want to carry on.
Absolutely. Over in Canada, new scouters, new interests are great, especially when they engage in the planning, scheduling, and makeup. The makeup the active scouters, new games and ideas. Exactly right. Is that where you hand the application, say it's only an hour or 2 a week? See, the message has crossed the pond in America as well. It's just not England. We got this one here. We like to mix up with leaders that come to an area for university. We utilize their different skills. I remember Cubs doing a night with the cheerleading team. Wow. I'm not saying any. I'm keeping stum about cheerleaders.
You can wave some of your skills around, Mark.
Yeah, give it an A, give it a B. No. We've lost Colin over there. He's just got his glasses. We have 2 leaders in their 60s, plus me and my wife in our 40s and 50s. And now I have my son at 21. And it's good seeing the difference between all of us, plus watching my son with the scouts and the new ideas he brings tonight. Exactly. And I think that's what we've all been talking about. Don't be afraid to ask for ideas. Yeah. Colin, I'm really surprised you've not heard about Parents' Night, because we don't do it all the time. Because in scouts, the parents want a bit of a break from their own kids, and also the scouts don't want their parents there all the time. But we do it every now and then. It's great fun. We've done like aeroplane nights as well, cooking nights. We did. It wasn't quite like a parent night, but it was using one of the parents, and he came to run the what did he do? Bike badge. So he showed us the scouts how to do punches and re-grease the chain, adjust the brakes and all that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess in reflection, the way that things are done in my group, and there is something here, I guess, is our AGM, and it's very much minimise the formalities that we need to do as is required. But we also put on 2, 3, 4 different types of activities so that the parents can have a go with the children. So as you know, Mark, maybe yourself, Max, that at my group, we've got the tomahawk range there. So, we have that running. We do a bit of fire lighting with the fire stills, etc. It's just not something we do, not when you say a regular basis, more than just the AGM sort of thing, and maybe just focus it in on some indoor activities. I like it.
Cool. We might lose Colin on this one, because this one is a very big comment. Oh, sorry, Colin. He's still there. Ties in the USA. Sometimes the parents don't understand the reasoning behind the activity. When we camp, we have an old-fashioned dining flag, a tarpaulin with poles and ropes. I had a parent watching to give the troop pop-up flies to make things go faster and easier. I explained that the current approach encouraged youth to work together and use the knot tying skills that scouts are taught. Having the quick and easy way would take that away. Sometimes the old ways have a reasoning sometimes. Spot on. Yeah.
Absolutely. The other thing we've done, because you have jumble cells, we grabbed some mirrors, and in the entrance hall, as you walk in, is a mirror. And on it says, "Looking good as our next volunteer."
Love it. Scott, I like the idea of taking a parent evening to camp. Now hatching a cunning plan for a parents versus young person race of a certain scout and skills for September camp. Add an advantage, plenty of parents to help break down. It's
little competition. Who could put the tent down the quickest?
Yeah, and then put it in the van. Who Tetris in the van?
Drive it back to the HQ.
Who can get back the quickest?
Try it and put it away.
Yeah, and put it away in the correct place. All right. Here's a question to both of you. On a county training meeting that I was on a few months ago, we were talking about family camp, and one of the county people were kind of a bit anti-family camps because families want to camp their own way. People might enjoy an alcohol drink in the evening, and it's no alcohol in scout camp, but that's how they camp. So the county scouter was kind of like, that's why I don't run family camps at all, just because of people camping all different ways. It's their time off, they've taken the weekend off or whatever they've done from work, and that's how they relax in the evenings. And she said in the end there was too many arguments, so never again doing family camp. I've never run a family camp, so I don't have any experience. Max, Colin?
No, never run a family camp. That's why we just do the parent scout evenings.
No, I've never done family camp. I've got a group in my district that does every year do a parents and young person camp. It was a dads and lads up until recently, but they've obviously changed the naming to fit modern styles, as it were. I don't know the pros and cons of what they get from it. Do they actually manage to get some adults to help with the group, or as you just alluded to, Mark, do the adults see it as a bit of a downtime to open a bottle of wine or a can of beer or something? And if they do, I guess you just need to ensure that the group leaders, so the section leaders, are the ones that are looking after the children, as it were, with the appropriate ratios, and that they're not, the parents not then directly looking after their young person. Gets a bit blurry if the parent and the child are sharing a tent, I guess. But as you say, there's so many different ways that a family camp can be run, and it's a lot to consider from a risk assessment perspective.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a good thing if it's run in the right and safe way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, I always think a classic for mine are A-frame races with the big pioneering poles. Yeah. Love that one. What else we got here? In squirrels, the three of us don't do squirrels, so we're not sure about this one. In squirrels, we did a local superhero parent night where parents described their jobs to the squirrels. Then some came back to things in more detail, like sign language and Makato. That's brilliant, because that is kind of getting into finding out what Colin and Max were saying on about parents having those skills. What do they do for work? What are those hobbies? And it was just a freak accident that we found out that the dad likes tinkering with bikes, and he said, "Oh, okay, I'll come in." So yeah, it's a bit what Colin was saying, wasn't it? Learning your parents. Robin, back in the day, it would be a dads and lads camp. Now it's an adult. Oh yeah, absolutely. Just finished a DOV expedition. Our Explore unit all on the edge of mid-30s, and the rest of the group over the mid-40s. Sorry, nice. That's a good mixture of ages, isn't it? And lots of experience there. We did I love a disastrous camp. Love those stories. A disastrous camp at Rattling Gate. Anyone know where that is? I don't know that. I hear someone researching. 20 years ago, where parents were on the bottom. There we are. Parents are drinking, and leaders had to keep toddlers safe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know where. Anyone know? Rattling Gate, don't know. Mark, our ratios needed for a family camp. In speaking to a leader from the district, the DBS process is a nightmare. Absolutely. It's, as far as I'm aware, Colin, Max, jump in if I'm incorrect, but it's still a scout camp, whether the parents there or not. So you still have to have your ratios, adults to young people, and then also, it's going to be a dry camp. It's got to be a dry camp. We're on scout camp, but those parents are going to go off there. We know they're going to happen. They're going to go into a tent, and hopefully they will respect you as a leader. But yes, am I right in saying that, guys?
I think that's probably the most efficient way of doing it, that you're up front, that it is a dry camp. That certainly does away the bits that we've already covered. The DBS process, it can be hard work, because all of those parents will need to be a helper with disclosure. So they'll all need to go through that process. But, that's fairly simple.
Down the road from Shaky Fence. Rattling Gate is in Carlisle. Yep. At Cub Camp, I rely on parents to man bases and do the kitchen, etc. It resulted in the parent become a leader rather than the weekly parent rota. Absolutely. And Scott, who is actually commenting here, he's my scout leader. A few years ago, organized the scout camp, and it was probably one of the best organized scout camps. He'd done it so well because he got parents on if you come and cook for us, if you come and prepare lunch for us, then you can go off and do the activities as well. So we had a team of parents that, the first ones, they were preparing the lunch. So while they're preparing the lunch, in the afternoon session, they then went off and done the zip wires and the caving and stuff like that. So it was kind of a little bit of incentive and a little bit of a reward for those parents. So we got quite a few parents who are actually it's quite fun being on scout camp. It is hard work, but you get to go and play with all these things. So that was a bit of a nice idea, and that's what we're doing all the time now. Okay, our group does family camp each year. Sorry, Colin. We make use of a great site called Vauxhall Farm. It's not great facilities for all ages, with some lodges on those who don't want to camp but still want to be involved. Normally 100 people attending as well. Good for recruitment. Wow, that's a big camp. That's a big camp, 100.
That's very big.
Trying to think of that. That's a lot. That's a lot of work, a lot of cooking as well. Graham, we have a camp booked in September, a 2-night camp. The idea at the moment is for parents to stay for the first day till after the campfire, then go home for the rest of the weekend. This way, the parents get to do a day of activities, and we don't get over the night paperwork. Yes, that's a really cool way. Yes, because the parent can almost stay up till the very last moment of the day. Like, they can stay right to the campfire. They can sit around the campfire. They can have the s'mores. They can have hot chocolate, whatever. But as long as the parent doesn't camp over, then there's no kind of DBS-y. But just remember that the parents can't be on their own taking scouts to the activity. You say, all right, whatever, whoever's son, if those parent, can you take them to the climb wall, and that parent take them to the archery? They can't, because they're not DBS. So just be really, really particular of that. Of course, if they're with another scout leader who is DBS, that's fine. Just remember that the parent being on their own, they can't be on their own. We have a group camp every year, and it's been the best for adult recruitment. We do a group camp, but we've never recruited any parents from it, which maybe I'm doing it the wrong way around. Maybe we need to look into that. We're a big camp, to be fair. Pre-COVID, we have, oh my God, 4 beaver colonies, 4 cub packs, 2 troops, and an explorer unit. And they're probably now, he's probably saying, and we have 7 squirrel trays or something like that, just to show off. Wow. Imagine being the group scout leader for that.
That's packed. That's packed.
That's full on. I don't know any group in my district that has 4 and 4 and 4. We have 2 beavers, 2 cubs, and scouts in my group. That's enough, but not 4 and 4. Wow, that's a big group. Anyone want to take that, bro?
I've got one in my country.
As in, has a multiple of
Yep.
sections?
Yeah, they got 3 or 4 packs 3 or 4 troops, probably similar for beavers as well.
Wow.
I've got a lot of respect for the GLV for that group, but they're also one of the most efficient. Come to census time, it's being rolled out ahead of schedule. Everything's being managed. Nothing's coming off the rails, as it were. It's just get on and do it. But you need to be a very good administrator, people person, etc., to be the GLV of a group that size.
Absolutely. Yes, that's a whole district worth of family camp haven't been able to convey that they are there to attend the Scout program. Have several over the years disappeared to the beach or just went home without talking. Oh wow, that's really sad, isn't it? When parents then engage with us all, or said, "My child, don't do that," and we say, "Really, yeah." That's the other thing with having parents there, isn't it? It's not the danger side, but they might say, "Oh, maybe not." If you give them a knife to do some whittling, "Oh, no, that's a knife. Be careful. Are you sure little Johnny can do the abseiling because he's scared of heights?" Or that would be the other thing. Well, I have no experience of that because we've never run a family camp with parents. Just leave them away. I don't know. Anyone got any now new feelings of running a family camp?
No, I think we've got enough in the program as it is.
Mark was just suggesting to my GLV about parents' night, though.
Yeah, no.
If he's not watching, that is.
No, do it. We have squirrels, 2 beavers, 2 cubs, and scouts, and we used to host explorers, but it was always a rush after cubs, and now they won't swap to another night, so meet elsewhere. Run away. Exactly. Yes, no, it sounds really busy, isn't it? And that's what I like about scouts, that okay, me and Colin are slightly close, but we're nearly an hour and a half away drive. Max is up north in Manchester, and just in the UK we do it all differently, but we all have the same goal, but we all run scouts completely different. We should have the same training, give or take, but the same end goal is to get the youth, young people, get them out, practical skills, camping, outdoors, but we all do it in all different ways. And I'm sure I was talking to Max about this last week, that if we had a badge, like I run a badge night, Max run a badge, and Colin have the same badge, even though it's the same badge, we would all do it differently. But the requirements are exactly the same, but we'd all do it differently. And that's the thing of scouting, isn't it? There is a wrong way of doing some stuff, but there's not a right way and a complete wrong way.
No,
I think that reflects on what we said earlier about new adults coming in with different perspectives. Just because if you give them the badge book that says, "Here's your criteria to earn this badge," okay, I'll read through that. Okay, I've done some research, and this is how I think we should do it. Whereas Colin, the veteran scout leader here, would say, "Well, for the last 20 plus years, I've been doing it this way." So, and you and Mark and Max, you'll be doing it your own way, sort of thing. There'll be some similarities, but it's good that we can adapt that criteria to what works for our group and our children, which again are very variable over the everywhere.
No, you're exactly right. And all 3 of us, I know our locations are completely different. I know I've been to Colin's scout hut many, many times, and he's got big land behind him. He's got that tomahawks. Whereas if you come to my scout hall, I've got a little garden. I can just put up 1 tent, and that's it. Max, your location, you're on the churchyard, aren't you?
We have a church yard over the other way, across the road, separate from the graveyard, of course. But there's a church field, and then behind the church, we've actually got an area they've given us for fires and outdoor skills and things like that.
And the vibe in my other group is different, but in quite a more traditional way. They were in the process of setting up squirrels and have beavers, cubs, and scouts. And that's it. All the groups in my district were all different. We all run it all differently. We've got a really straight traditional scout group,
But
do
that,
it kind of almost like BP standard.
that's what makes us so diverse and so inclusive, because we bring all of that together. We play on people's skills and ways of doing things. There are things that we have to do, but they don't dictate you've got to do it in this particular way, because we're all volunteers.
Yeah.
And this is where, learning new skills, to bring it back to the question of the week, really plays, because it takes you out of your comfort zone slightly, because as a leader, you've got to go, hang on a minute, I don't know how to do that. If I can't find a parent, then, or I can't find another leader from another group or anywhere, maybe I'll go and learn that myself. So it kind of, for me, I love doing that. I love going and learning something new and how to do something, and then bringing that back in.
100%. And we didn't even get to question of the week.
Well, we kind of did that. I gave you the link.
We're already at half an hour, so we've got kind of 5 minutes, and then we've got to end the stream, unfortunately. But
just bring up the question of the week. Just bring it up.
All right, here we go. The question of the week was, and still is, what new skill as a scout leader are you going to learn now the warmer months are here?
Yeah. So that's more the focus on outside. Get outside. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy the warm weather.
Putting that out
it might be different in other countries, because in other countries it's shifted to the cold weather. So apologies for that. But likewise, you're still going to learn a new skill if you're indoors.
So what's the answer then, Max? What's your answer?
What's my answer? I guess I am learning more sort of outdoorsy skills in the nature side of things. I'm testing myself on some foraging on my dog walks in the morning, so I can identify the plants and see them out there. I'll do a video on that at some point, but it's that kind of, how can I use the time that I'm outside more constructively while enjoying the nature? Don't just scoot past it. Just stop and enjoy and listen, and then you'll see more.
Especially if you're going out, you're dog walking. You're not purposely going on. I've got to book out an hour. You're actually going for the dog walk for the next 10 minutes, so you might as well use it. Because in the winter it's going to be rainy and dark and yucky and stuff. So that's a good thing. Once again, putting Colin on the spot. You got any new skills that you're thinking of learning?
Not me personally, but next weekend I'm helping to facilitate a county nights away course. So in reflection, I'm hopefully going to be teaching a number of adults some skills that will help them get their nights away permit, and in turn get some young people out and about in the summer and do some wonderful stuff at campsites and whatever, weather pending, of course. We know what it's like in the UK. Firelighting in the rain is always a challenge.
Firelighting in the rain, exactly.
Shows Mark not sewing.
Mine is definitely not knots. You two know what my knot skills are like, and no. I've tried so many times. Lots of people are trying to teach me in all different ways, and it's been a disaster. So no, definitely not for me. But the skill that I have been trying to learn is more cooking on open fire. That is my thing. I'm really trying to learn. Watching a whole lot of stuff, and also Jamie Oliver has just bought this new series, barbecuing. So he's showing you how to cook on coals. So I was watching that last Tuesday. So that's quite a good idea. I just don't want to do the same spag bowl chili curry in a pot every single scout camp, So it's trying to experiment. That's
all at the same time, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's where you're going wrong.
That's the problem. Right, here we go. Joshua, take the explorers outside, start getting them to learn practical navigation and getting on the water. Love it. And last but not least, Billy, I've just finished 16-hour training, mental health, first aid in my outside scout life. I've been learning to wing sail. Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
It does, doesn't it?
Harold just sneaking in. Come on, Harold, we'll get you in there. A new skill, not new skull. A new skull in summer. Hopefully, you're not having an operation, Harold, but I'm pretty sure that's meant to be new skill. Restraint at an antiques market when I see scouting stuff. Yeah, always trying to collect something, and someone sends you a link. Oh, have you seen this? Why don't you get this badge? Oh, this is really good. No. The financial advisor in my household is going nuts. So no more buying stuff at the moment. No more badges. No. Well, guys. Yes, and you know, my badge lady, who I discovered a few years ago, she's not doing sewing anymore. She's stopped it all. So I need to find another badge lady who can sew all my badges on my blanket, because it's not good. And the wife is definitely not doing it.
What Rob's saying?
What have we got? Looking
smoker.
Yes, you know, I've seen it quite a few times. But then you get comments going, oh, if it's the wrong paint, and that's what kind of puts me off. But yeah, I've seen those 3-4 tier filing cabinets, and you start smoking stuff, strip all the drawers out, apart from the bottom one. Yes. Scott's off to check out Vauxhall Farms website. No, nice one. Maybe Harold is getting a new skull. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But Rob, it looks like we're coming around yours for this smoker.
Yeah.
You can go first. You can test it out first. But just in case. My mother-in-law, when she comes over, Scott's got a mother-in-law. He pays to sew on all his badges. A really old book. Oh, this is. I've got this book in the shed actually.
Yeah,
really Craft in Indian Law by Ernest Thompson Seton. It's a great section of cooking skills on a traditional wood fire. Thank you very much for reminding me on that. Come on down or up. Rob, thank you very much for the invitation. Beautiful.
Brilliant.
Guys, thank you very much. Colin, welcome back. It's brilliant. Thank you. Hopefully, Colin will be able to join us most Sundays here on Sunday live stream at 7 every Sunday.
On
Max,
my 1 hour off a week.
Say again?
On my 1 hour off a week.
1 hour. I found a hay box in the storage hut. Yeah, hay box is quite cool. Maybe we could use a video call and we can work in your no. Max, do you remember last reunion when the guy was trying to teach me to do knots?
Yeah, that was hilarious. I've got the video of you doing that. I've got the video of that.
Colin, all I'm saying, in the reunion bar, you know how it goes, and a scout leader's trying to teach me to do some knots. No, it's not going to happen. But never say never.
Maybe one of these sessions should be that video, Max.
No. There are some things that aren't allowed to go on the internet, and that's one of them. Guys, thank you once again. What's that reef knot? All right, yeah, that's the only knot I can do, and I can do a surgical knot for work, but that's the only knot I can do. Guys, have a great week. Max, have a great one. Whatever you're doing, Colin, on as many different roles. Anything standing out this week for you, Colin, that you got to do?
Yes, but I wouldn't want to say it on there.
Oh, that's a juicy one. All right, guys, thank you once again. And if you are watching this post live stream, thank you very much. And don't forget, if you can check out Max's YouTube channel, which is Sparrowhawk Bushcraft, that would be amazing, because we're trying to promote Max's one as well. And we'll see you next Sunday, same time, same place, on YouTube and Facebook. Press the button.